Hello, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, college football, college basketball, college fans, Columbus Blue Jacket fans across the nation and around the world. You got to figure there's Blue Jacket fans internationally, right? With especially with Zach Wawrinski doing his thing at the Olympics, the Olympic Games. Too bad they took a loss on Sunday, which, boy, 2 points there would have really.
Oh, man.
They would have been in second place
in the Metro.
In the Metro division. A week ago, they weren't even in the playoffs. Then now they would have been in second place. 2 weeks ago, whatever it was, week and a half ago. Bottom line is, it's hockey for you. But 1-0. They've been scoring goals at a pretty good clip, and all of a sudden they got beat by the New York Islanders 1-0. And that was a game. What do they call that? The day after game, or the back-to-back games where you play on back-to-back days. Well, I would think about the middle of the third period, their legs were feeling it. But you know what? No rest for the weary. Because they play again on Tuesday, and that's the way it is. The rest of they don't have 2 days off in a row the rest of the regular season. So Columbus Blue Jackets, even though you tuned in here, I'm sure to hear the ramblings and rumblings of Tim May, yours truly, and featuring Clay Hall over there,
Jeff Snook,
the guy over there, and Clay's going to have to leave a little early today. He has an appointment he can't miss. I don't know if you noticed this when you make a dental appointment. If you don't break it within I think mine's within 24 hours, maybe 48 hours, you pay them $100.
Well, yeah, and they send you that.
Meanwhile, they can cancel you that morning going, hey, we've got a blah, blah, blah.
Well, they sent that
It's too cold to come in.
They send that text, and once you commit, you're done.
You're done.
There's no transferring. There's no changing.
You might as well have a new mole on your forehead. You're done. But the bottom line is I had my dental appointment this morning, and I came through with flying colors. And, I guess flying colors isn't the way you want to come through a dental appointment.
Is it true you've never had a cavity?
Never had a cavity, but I broke a tooth 2 years ago, year and a half ago, and had to have a cap put on. And I'm kind of wishing if I hadn't told the dentist about it, You
don't think he would have seen it?
No, because there was no pain whatsoever. With it just nicked off a corner, so to speak, of a molar, and they would have noticed it when I went in for my next cleaning. But like I've said, I've never had a cavity. That's just probably due to genetics more than anything else. But it is what it is. That's the only thing, one of the few things in my life I'm proud of.
What flavor did you choose this morning?
They had, I don't know what it is. It's that bubblegum flavor for the paste that they put in there. Yeah, I told the lady, I was going to say the cleaning lady. I told the lady doing my cleaning, you know what? Maybe I'm weird, but I like the taste of this. It was pretty funny.
That is weird.
She said some people do, and they always agree with you. Yes, I do too. They hate it. But anyway, let's get back to what we're going to talk about, because we're going to bring Jeff Snook in just a minute for his weekly
his
weekly introduction, or his weekly reckoning. Because as we all know, a week ago he picked Florida to win it all back to back, and we all know that Florida went down hard on the hardwood.
Wide open 3
to Iowa.
Wide open 3,
and a team that Ohio State beat this year.
Yeah,
it beat in the Big Ten tournament after getting drubbed by Iowa, 2 weeks earlier, a week and a half earlier. But as I texted my good buddy Jeff Snook, that's all I texted.
Just to get under the skin.
No, because, Jeff prides himself on knowing everything. You know what I mean? So he'll get his shots in a minute. He's probably listening right now on the side before we bring him in. But real quick, Clay, because you've got to leave here in any minute. They're not sending an ambulance for you, are you? It's not that bad, is it?
No, but it's my 4th dental appointment, I think, in the last 10, 11, 2 weeks, whatever.
Yeah. Well, you're looking better.
I had the temporary bridge. Now I got a new bridge. It's all gummed up in there, looking
bridge
good.
Too far.
And I finished that bridge, and they said, when would you like to schedule the other one? And I was like, wait a minute. you deadened me for 3 days, and then
I guess there's a lever. Oh man.
No. I'm not gonna. No, my dentist is Chad Cascio, the former walk-on receiver from.
Yeah, he knows how to milk a cow.
And that guy is quick. He's efficient. I can't say enough props. And I also found out my daughter-in-law was babysitted by his wife back in the day. Thank you.
Yeah.
It was she's an OBGYN, and so was my daughter-in-law. And the Cascios the Copelands went to the Cascios wedding. Anyway, sorry.
Isn't it Carsoni's right across the street from Cascios?
Yeah.
I love that place. The people that own that family, they were big backers for Buster Douglas back in the day when he was getting ready to fight Tyson, but they were friends.
Who is
great friends with Frank Carsoni and that family, the Carsonis. Anyway, but they had a place up in Westerville, and then they built this place on Lane Avenue, about 15, 20 years ago. I can't remember how long, but I was just in there with my grandsons and my son and daughter-in-law and my new granddaughter like a week ago. So they like going in there. They like the ambiance. They said they also like it because they had a couple of stories that I wrote back during the day up on the wall, but suddenly those stories are missing. I don't know if somebody just broke in just to steal those, or or if Tim May's run is done. Maybe I think it's more Tim May's run is done.
No, it's not done, because you're going to ask me about the weekend.
Yeah.
The best thing I saw.
By the way, Ohio State Pro Day, because I know you got to run real quick.
Yeah.
Give me one guy you're interested in seeing on Wednesday at the Woody Hayes Athletic Center who could help himself, or you're just intrigued to see if he keeps up what he's been doing. I would be surprised we see the Styles brothers do much of anything based on their combine exploits. But Caden McDonald didn't run a 40 at the combine. We'll see if he runs one. I don't know why a 6'4", 330-pound guy needs to run a 40. I just want to get his takeoff speed.
Right.
Give me a 20-yard dash and sit down, big fella. But one guy. Give me one guy. Don't go.
No, that you already answered my question.
Okay. All right.
Yeah, that would be Caden, and the other guy would be Carnell. Just to see
if Carnell runs a 40 again.
They always run faster in Ohio. How is that?
Yeah, but that was the most confusing thing.
I know.
The combine supposedly electronically had him at 4.52 or whatever it was, and all these scouts and coaches had him well below 4.5. I mean, and if we're only talking about 4.100s, that's still a lot. But put on his videos, all I got to say, the guy gets separation. And that's all you want. I mean, Wayne Gretzky wasn't the fastest skater, but he got separation.
I feel like
Jerry Rice wasn't the fastest 40-yard dash guy by any means, but he got separation at the right moment.
I think Carnell has Marvin hands too. And so he's got it all. And we'll see. Yeah, maybe he'll go 4.48 or whatever it is.
All right,
anyway.
Let's go ahead and bring Jeff on, because he's sitting.
Wait, hang on. I got to tell you about the great thing I saw. It was old people winning. Patino 71.
Today's my birthday.
He stole. See, he's always telling me.
I'm sorry. I know you were leading up to a grand finale there.
I was leading up. Anyway, Rick Barnes 70, Izzo 70, Kelvin Sampson 69, and Tim May, who is also one of the greats. And they say old coaches can't survive. BS. Tim May 72 today, and he's still the GOAT.
Yeah. And the guy we're bringing on, 66, he's an old guy. He just won't admit it. How old are you, by the way, Clay?
6'8".
This is an august group that we have here on the Tim May Show.
You two are
granted.
August. The fact that I said babysitted instead of babysat.
Yeah, that's okay. That's just because you're august.
Oh, my
When you're august, you're allowed to get away with stuff like that.
Man, that's bad.
Speaking of august, let's bring in Jeff Snook. He's quite august. Every time I look up, he's just getting back or just going on a cruise.
Did you see
what kind of life is that?
I know. I'm
getting all my shots in early, because once he gets going, he never shuts up. So I have to get all my shots in early.
Do you cruise?
No, my wife and I have been on one cruise, totally enjoyed it.
Yeah.
but we haven't been
Never
on
been
another
back.
one. Yeah, that was like back in that was probably 1989 or something.
I love the beach, but I'm not interested in going 40 miles out in the ocean or whatever it is.
I'm not an ocean guy. I've told you that before, because there's always stuff in there that will kill you. It will then eat you, chomp by chomp. And and I think most creatures in the ocean like sushi, like human sushi. You know what I mean?
They're wild animals.
They're not going to cook it. They're not going to wait till it quits flopping. But
you keep him waiting long, he may bow out.
No, he's sitting there waiting.
All right, buddy.
What I'm doing is I'm priming this pump, man. I'm getting him, because I know he's going to come on swinging. But real quick.
Yes, sir.
Your big takeaway from the weekend, other than Florida going down, which I think most of us saw that coming.
Well, I can't say that I picked Iowa, but when I got to that line, I paused because of what Iowa did to Ohio State, the way they play, the ability to shoot, and they play defense like there is no tomorrow. And Todd Golden might have gotten a little too big for his britches. And Ben McCollum said, I can get it, brother. Anyway.
Yeah.
Hell of a win.
Hell yeah, man. I just wish Ben McCollum would spend less time on the actual court while he's coaching. That's all I wish. But anyway.
Patino does that.
Yeah, Patino's pretty good, though. He's a little bit subdued compared to the good old days.
Oh, no, for sure.
But
he paces.
In that regard, but he still paces, yeah. I like the way at the end of that game that they won. I mean, dude, it's brilliant. All those guys you just named off, as brilliant as they are or have been. By the way, Gino Auriemma is my age because we have the same birthday.
Wow.
Yeah, okay. So there you go, the GOAT of women's basketball coaching. But as subdued as they are, it always comes down to one of your players puts the ball through the hoop at the right time. You understand what I'm saying? That's what happened with St. John's. And it was funny how Patino you saw him just sort of swallowed real hard, because he knows he's got to do this 4 more times to get what he really wants.
That's it.
And then moved on to the straightened his tie, I think, a little bit, and moved on to the congratulatory line.
And he didn't want to show up self.
Yeah.
Somehow.
The one thing I hate hearing in the congratulatory line is when you hear the winning team going by and shaking hands, and you can hear them saying "great job," when in fact you're saying "great job" to somebody who just got their butt kicked. I mean, or beat. Nobody wants to hear that. But you know a guy who hears "great job" all the time?
Who would that be?
It's my buddy Jeff Snook.
All right.
My good buddy Jeff Snook is my
bring
family.
Him on.
My family knows him, because then when I refer to him, I refer to him as my good buddy Jeff Snook. Let's bring him on and see what he has to say about the weekend. Jeff Snook, you're just tuning in. You didn't hear any of that warm up, did you?
Oh my God! I've been in the green room listening to you babble on about stuff. We went from dental stuff. I mean, the stuff you guys covered the last 5 minutes. I just went through that handshake line an hour ago. We got eliminated today in my senior softball league. I played like garbage today. We got beat. We're done for the playoffs. And just hugged everybody in the other team. Told them great job. Good luck on Wednesday in the finals. And it was heartbreaking. You know, I was all geared up to sing, and to quote Marilyn Monroe, is that "Happy birthday, Mr. President." And then I listened to all your insults for 10 minutes about how
insults.
He thinks he knows everything. He picked the Gators to win it all. Blah, blah, blah. I was one of a million people that picked them to win it all. But hey, I live in South Florida. I'm surrounded by Gator and Hurricane fans. I was celebrating with Iowa last night, so I wasn't sad at all, other than the green stuff I gave away. I had a really good week going until that game.
Yeah, that was a lot of lettuce that went flying out of your refrigerator.
Oh, my God. It was my best. I thought it was the best bet of the weekend. I thought they just
tell me something real quick. Did you, whenever I wish you happy birthday, I always sing you that Marilyn Monroe song. Did you play it to anybody?
Did I play it to you? No.
Yeah, on your message, on your phone message.
I got it on the 21st about midnight, and that's when it came in. I think you were up late that night, and I listened to it yesterday. But I had a late night Saturday. So
I left it for you at 8 o'clock.
I'm still struggling. I got a hernia that's hampering me. Every muscle's cramping. I'm tired. I had a week-long cruise. I indulged too much. And then I played a 9-inning game in 80-degree heat today. It was awful.
Woo. Wow.
Oh.
9 innings?
Well, we always play 9 innings, yeah.
Oh, okay. I thought softball was 7. I thought softball was 7.
8 of them were bad.
Hey, did you hit anything though?
Nope.
Before we move on,
I was 2 for 5, a lot of flyouts, just awful. It's the worst I've hit the ball in my career this season. I started decently, but boy, I sure tailed off. I got what's called warning track power now. I'm hitting them off the bottom of the fence or the top of the fence, and I only had about 4 home runs this season. And heck, I used to average about 1.5 a game, so I don't know what happened to me. It's frustrating.
No, I was going to say I can just see him raking.
yes,
This dude can.
yeah. Have you ever had warning track fever though?
Warning. I wish I had warning track power.
Yeah, warning track power. I mean,
no.
Yeah.
I'm punching Judy, seeing eye single.
Yeah.
You know.
there you go.
Not
Take two and hit the right.
No, I don't. Want yeah.
What were you going to say though? You were going to rib him
No,
again about his picks, weren't you?
No.
Yeah,
No.
I couldn't hold Clay back a while ago. I said, no, let me do it because I'll be more gentle. Because you know how Clay is, Jeff. He was going to lambast you, man, on that.
Once I realized Florida wasn't going to cover, I was rooting for Iowa. I mean, 6 Big Ten teams in there, and I was wrong about that too. I thought the Big Ten would struggle, and the only thing I got right was TCU over Ohio State. But the Big Ten looks great. They got 3 teams left in the one region.
I gave it up to you. You did get that right, TCU over Ohio State. If Ohio State had played a full game instead of like half a game, what do you think?
Ifs and nuts, buddy boy.
Yeah.
If and nuts were roads with ruts, we'd all have a bumpy ride.
They came back from that deficit and had a 55-50 lead. And then
I know.
Yeah.
We know. That's why I said if they played a full game instead of 2/3 of a game, who knows? It is what it is. It'd be funny if Iowa, not Iowa. I'm getting my things mixed up here. Dude, what happens in the world of sport if the Big Ten wins the football national championship and the basketball national championship in the same year now? In the transfer portal, NIL, revenue sharing world, what happens? Does the SEC disintegrate and form up in a Big Bang Theory, form up in new leagues? What do you think happens if, in fact, that happens?
Well, I think Greg, what's his name, Stanky's going to be awful depressed. But I still don't think the Big Ten's going to win a title. Michigan's the leading candidate, obviously, and they got their act together all of a sudden. Yeah. But they struggled in that Big Ten tournament. And the rest of them will be, it'd be a heck of an effort to get to win 2 to get the Final Four. And they're going to play each other. Obviously, Iowa and Nebraska play each other, and they might play Illinois if they get by each other. So they're going to knock each other out. Michigan State, is a dark horse. I still like Iowa State. Even they lost Joshua Jefferson.
Oh, yeah.
Gosh, I like the way they play ball. And then you got Duke and Arizona. And Arizona's got to be the betting favorite right now, obviously. So,
I tell you what, though, Michigan has looked pretty damn good for two games, buddy.
Yeah.
Yeah, but you know what? I like the way Alabama matches up with them. You know how many threes they attempted last night? They were 7 of 21 in the first half, and they finished up shooting 45 threes. I think their number was they shot 45% from 3, and they had twice as many 3-point attempts as 2-point attempts. And if they could spot up and shoot threes out there, that's the way to bring that Michigan defense out on the perimeter, and that's the way to beat them. Match their 2 for your 3. But if they shoot like that, and that line's 10.5, that's the biggest number of the weekend.
They still got Mara sitting there in the middle, man. Yeah. Like I said, like an oak tree. That guy is so much better right now than he was 3 months ago. It's kind of crazy. Go ahead.
But Tim, that's why I said matchup. That's why you shoot threes. You take that 7-footer away.
I got you.
He's not leaving the paint,
Right. But I'll tell you what, man, as much as the 3 has been the boon to teams in college basketball over the last, 25 years, 30 years since it's been in vogue,
1986.
That's 40 years. Hey, good. Thank you. I still don't feel good about a team having to shoot 45 of them to be in contention and think it's going to do that every night. That's my point. So
Well, they
I
were
think
getting.
I think it comes back to haunt you.
I stand correct. They were 19 to 42, 45%, but they were getting wide open looks the way they swing the ball.
But 45% is good from the arc.
Oh, my God.
And like he said, like Jeff said, based on the way they started, it's really good. It's almost 55 or 60% the rest of the game, right?
Yeah, they were 7 and 21, 33% for the first half, 45% for the game. So they lit it up in the second half and they pulled away. But there's some really good matchups this weekend.
I agree. We're gonna get to that in a minute. Get to that in a minute. I wanted because Clay has to go. For some reason or other, he made a dental appointment. I had one this morning. I
heard you guys talking about that, and I wanted to talk about my bridge I got in 1984. So all three of us talk about our teeth,
Well, the only apparatus I have in my mouth is I broke a tooth a couple of years ago and had to get a cap put on it, and I've never had a cavity. You guys need, as I told Clay before the show started, you guys need some civil engineers working on those bridges, man.
Well, that bridge the one they took out is almost 50 years old.
Wow.
Because the orthodontists, and I'm not going to name them, they may sue me, they pulled too many teeth, and then all of a sudden, we got to put 2 bridges in there.
Wow.
And by the way, Jeff, if you get one taken out or replaced, as soon as you get your tail off the chair, they said, when can we do the other one? And I said, whoa, wait a minute. Let me see the bill. I don't know if I can afford another one. And I was like, this was an ordeal.
You know what?
In the summer of 1980, Clay, I'm playing fast pitch in Red Hall, Ohio, and I take a rise ball to the chops.
Oh,
Put my hand over my mouth like that, and I lowered my hand, and I had 6 full teeth in my hand.
Oh, wow.
So
we thought,
the guy, wait a minute, finish the story. The guy who fixed it sort of didn't fix it right? Do I have that story right?
Yeah. He was one of those, my parents would pay cash as they went. He didn't wear gloves or anything like that. Yeah. I got trench mouth. I got infections. I was in the dentist chair that night till 3 a.m. and played the next day, had a great day at the plate. And I was struggling then. I was hitting like 220 fast pitch. And from that moment on, I lost all my teeth. I just went on fire. Finished the year at like 392, which is for fast pitch really good at that level. But anyway,
what kind of dentist practices at 3 a.m.?
Emergency.
He had to. It was an emergency.
Wow.
All my teeth got knocked out. So he went in. He was our family dentist. He went in the office, and we were. I think I was in there from about 4 p.m. to 3 a.m. putting them all back in. And then
you got to do it now. Yeah.
4 years. They were on ice. Yeah. 4 years. 4 years later, they came out again, and then down here in Florida, a guy put a bridge in and said that's what I needed from the beginning. Should have had a bridge. So the guy sort of messed up.
I'm telling you, both you guys need, instead of going to the dentist, go to the civil engineer. He'll fix you up with your bridge, a proper bridge. Hey, Clay, did you want to ask Jeff anything before you get out of here?
I want to. I know you guys probably already. I'm sorry I missed on Friday, but what do you think about? Did you discuss Ohio State in the postmortem?
Oh no, Jeff and I. We talked Monday before the game.
Okay,
that's when he made his picks.
Right.
Picked TCU to win.
Yeah, that's right.
So he was right. Jeff Snook was right. Yes, that came out of my mouth with no dental work involved.
What do you see next year? They return, and I got this clarified today. 57% of their offense is coming back. Their second, third, and fourth leading scorer. They got to find a big person.
They hope. Go ahead.
Yeah.
You talking about the Buckeyes today?
Yes, sir.
Well, we don't know we have no idea what their roster retention will be at this point.
but on a positive way, they could have Bynum Royal and Mobley back.
Yeah, they could, but they could lose Bynum to the portal. You never know. I mean,
if you think negatively,
all this tampering going on. You never know what they're going to have.
Correct.
Oh, you mean the University of Mississippi? Okay.
Yeah. Right. But Dylan Davis and I talked about that on Friday also. But like Jeff says, nothing is a given in this age.
Not
and that's why, like we said, the the word on the street is Ohio State's looking to hire an experienced, or as close as they can get to a general manager, like Mark Pantoni is for the football team. Get somebody like that involved. The NIL is supposed to take a step up for Ohio State basketball, and possibly the revenue sharing share is going to go up. We'll see how that goes, because you do have to retain. I mean, they have a core there that could be pretty damn good. Don't you agree, Jeff?
Plus the 6'8" kid, Anthony
Thompson,
who was recruited.
They're getting they're getting the McDonald's All-American, and then you get the freshman Bynum, and then you got Royal and Mobley. That's a good core. That's a good nucleus.
Yeah,
you got to get a point guard. You got to get another big man. You got to get another big man. The point guard's the key. You got to get another big man. Like I said, and I've said this repeatedly. And I hate, I don't like disparaging college kids, but Tilly's not the guy that's going to get you any place. I mean, he's got to improve. He's just got to learn how to finish at the basket. He's got some good spin moves. He's got some good moves. Good rebounder. But boy, he can blow by a guy, and he forces some bad shots, and he just doesn't finish.
God, he had some good games, like against Purdue, the must-win against Purdue, and then of course Indiana, and then the opening conference game, tournament game against Iowa. I thought he played. He played the way I've been saying they need him to play for all year, and then all of a sudden, I mean, I didn't understand. But we already talked about this ad nauseam. I didn't understand their plan at the beginning against a half-court pressing team like TCU was, but he was by 3 or 4 inches, maybe 5 inches, the tallest guy on the court.
He was,
and they didn't really involve him, and when they did, he wasn't really assertive. I mean, against TCU.
Well, he's done, fellas.
One thing I've noticed.
Yeah, he's done anyway. Yeah.
No, well, one thing I've noticed about him is you see TCU's winning basket right against Bynum. You see where that guy was posted. I mean, he might have been over 3 seconds. They didn't call it. That kid is so strong backing him up. He got the ball 2 feet from the basket. All I did turn up. Tilly doesn't post low enough. He's too high on the
he was on punch. He was on the other guy who got the ball and then passed it inside.
I don't mean on defense. On defense. I said when Ohio State has the ball, when you watch their offense, he's not posted low enough. He's got a size advantage. He needs to post up guys. He's out 8, 10, 12 feet from the basket. Now he's got to make a move to get by somebody.
I'm with you.
You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
So you got to use that size to back a guy in. So when you got to catch the pass, you turn around, you got a little jump hook from 3 feet. You got a left hand off the glass from 3 feet. That's what your size is for. And he just didn't have it,
But here's the thing. Is he doing that on his own, or is that where he's told to post up?
No, I mean, that's coaching. They should start him on a low block and keep him there.
Yeah.
And for some reason, they let him drift out toward the top of the key. And then they want to go off of him, get it to him, and then kick it out instead of using him to score. But he's got to be lower on the post to score. And that's their offense. And he just sort of was misused a little bit. And then he just didn't have the skill set to finish as much as he should have. That's all.
Clay's trying to get out of here, and he opens the Pandora's box, and he leaves it floating all around the room. Well,
I'm just stating my opinion.
I know. Your opinion's excellent.
No, I love Jeff on Buckeye basketball.
Jeff knows what he's talking about. Wink, wink. I'm just joking.
I heard you say that. You probably was crossing your fingers when you said it. Hey, I didn't mean to impede your schedule and your getaway time.
No. Hey, Clay, say goodbye to Jeff, though, man. We appreciate you coming in, brother.
Hey, happy belated birthday, my friend.
Hey, thanks, Clay. I hope to see you up there for the spring game if you guys are going to be around. I'm coming up there.
Oh, yeah. Oh, cool. All right. See you then.
Okay, buddy.
Hey, Jeff, you and I are going to keep talking if that's all right with you.
Oh, that's a treat. I'm looking forward to it.
I know you are. It's kind of like this will be your trip to the dentist. Hey, seriously, by the way, before we move on, how was the cruise?
You sure you want to zoom that in on yourself?
Yeah. Well, yeah. I love you, man. I mean, a would-be movie star.
At least you're not wearing a ball cap today.
Yeah. over my.
Hey, they won't let you. By the way, I don't
Those
know
are
if you saw
called
what
those are
happened.
called bald caps. Go ahead.
I
Now,
don't, I
what?
don't know if you saw what happened over the weekend, but you can't get in Ruth's Chris dressed like that anymore. They upped their ante on the dress code. You can't no more ball caps when I take you to Ruth's Chris.
You and I haven't been to a Ruth's Chris in a long time.
Yeah,
You
wow.
and I go to what is it? Where do we go to? McCormick? No, what's the one? What's the one I really like? Where we sit at the bar and
Worcester?
partake?
Worcester?
Huh?
Worcester?
No,
Worcester?
I'm talking about. You named a name brand there. I was just sticking with a name brand.
Morton's?
Yeah, Morton's. You know where we sit at the bar and get the appetizers.
You like City Square Steakhouse?
Oh, City Square. I think I could wear a sombrero in there and they wouldn't care. An urban sombrero. But I like City Square a lot up in Worcester.
And I'm a Hyde Park guy too. You know, we got 3 in Columbus.
Oh, yeah.
And we opened up a Hyde Park down here in Delray Beach about 9 months ago, and I go there a lot. It's a good product.
Yeah, and hey, real quick for me, I don't mean to go way off the track here, but where did the Hyde Park Steakhouses start?
I have no idea. I thought it was Columbus. I might be wrong.
The one on Old Henderson Road, right? I mean, I thought that was their original.
That's the one I went to, an Old Henderson. That was my favorite one. Still there, obviously. Then they went Dublin, and then they went to Short North. But I thought it was Columbus because they had the 3 original, but I might be wrong.
Yeah, I know, because my wife and I, on our anniversary every year, go to the one up in Dublin off of whatever the name of that road is up there, and enjoy it because, I don't know, I just like the ambiance in there. Except I saw something last time we were in there I had never seen before because you know me, I don't go out that often. But it was they were lit mixed drinks. What are those called? Where they What is that called? Where they?
Well, I don't order them, but and I did when I was bartending. We never had them then, so I see them go by me, but it's not something I'd order. By the way, I wish you were down here in West Palm because Saturday night the kids took me to a new place called Pink Steak. It was absolutely the best New York strip I've ever had in my life for $80 a la carte, covered with truffle butter, and it was unbelievable. And it was also the best Caesar salad with anchovies I've ever had in my life. Both of them were the best.
Wow.
And I'm not going to tell you what the bill was, but
hey,
man.
You know what I was going to ask you? You know what I was going to ask you? How much was the calamari?
You can't get a reservation within 10 days of the place.
Wow.
And it's right next to where the Palm Beach Post was, where I slaved all those years.
Yeah.
And in fact, it sits where the old building used to sit. It was so weird and nostalgic being back there. But that is all the rage now. Pink Steak. You can look it up online.
I will.
Everything is in a flamingo theme. Everything's pink inside. The waiters are wearing tuxes. It's beautiful.
Hey, did you hear what I asked you though? How much was the calamari?
I didn't see it on the menu.
That's an inside joke.
Yeah, I paid $28 for calamari last week. Where was I? Somewhere, and I was thinking of you.
Yeah, Newport, Oregon, right on the beach, and I'm complaining about how much the calamari cost. But it didn't cost that much. It certainly didn't cost $28, but it was good.
Plus, at the restaurant looking at the ocean, you're complaining about $21 calamari.
Oh no! Well, that's the way the rich get richer. Anyway, wanted to ask you, man. So I didn't get to get your take on here. I got your take before Ohio State played. Your take afterwards. My big take. I'm not going to go through it all, but my big take was I hated the design of the last play. Yeah. I don't like the inbound guy being your shooter because you can run into all kinds of obstacles, even getting the ball back. And they jumped him a little bit too. So suddenly I liked the fact that the way I saw the play on replay several times, Devin Royal was open on the left side if he could have gotten the ball up court to him, but it took too long for Tilly to catch the ball and then get the ball back to Bruce Thornton. That bothered me. And I didn't like how long it took for them to figure out TCU was overplaying them on defense. And there's got to be a weak link there somewhere and exploit it. Took way too long for them to diagnose that. Second half, they beat the hell out of TCU. But it's two halves.
The final play was very elementary. I mean, you got to know if Bruce Thornton's going to inbound the ball to Tilly, you could almost read it that he's going to get the ball back and they're going to double him. They want him to pass it and double him. I like it when these teams have two guards and they do the curl from midcourt down.
Yes.
And they'll have one per side, so they catch the ball on the run. And it's much like what Evan Turner did against Michigan. Let's see, that's been 16 years ago.
Yeah.
But have you
noticed? It was on your birthday too. That was on your birthday.
Have you noticed since that play that Ohio State ran, there's been 4 or 5 similar situations with less than 4 seconds left.
Yes.
And they've all got better shots than Ohio State did. Kentucky hit just from inside the half court, and they inbounded with like 3. Vandy, that was a lucky shot. The kid inbounded with 2, and he banked it in and out. That would have won the game. But he got a good look with 2 seconds left. And it just, Bruce wasn't going to get a look when you're double teamed. He had to make that second pass, but it was just a poor design to have him be in the, the other thing I love is I love the Michigan, what's called a football inbounds. Michigan runs it. Well, you have 5 guys. You could have 4 guys in the baseline or 5 guys in the baseline, and you don't know which one's going to get the ball. They're all behind the baseline. And they take off all in one. One might come back to the ball. The other 4 sprinting toward the front court. That play is a great play if you got less than 5 seconds left. Got to get a shot off. I see Dusty Mays run that several times, and some other coaches have too, because it's not so predictable. Well, you can't double a guy then. You don't know who to double. You can't. So it was just a poor design, and you hate to be in that situation to begin with. They just they had a couple empty trips there, and they had control of the game where they could have taken the game the final 3 minutes.
That's what's amazing. I mean, we talk about the end of it because it came down to the last play, but it was amazing was they not only came back, they sort of looked like they were taking control. That they weren't out of gas. You know what I mean? And and then, man, like I said a while ago, you might not have been listening, but when Patino, and them won, was that yesterday? He takes a swallow. You can see he takes a swallow, but composes himself to go get into the congratulations line, and because he knows. He's been around long enough. The ball's got to go through the hoop no matter how genius you are as a coach. And that means the players on the court have to get it done for you. Hey, real quick. And by the way, I may regret saying this out loud because I don't know how much Iowa State's going to hurt from losing that guy that, that stud they had, but they seem to play without him extremely well. Yeah. But my point is, I thought your pick of Iowa State, the more I watched them over the weekend, because I'll be honest, I think I've watched one half of them playing a game during the regular season. Iowa State is tough and solid and good.
I wasn't counting on Jefferson getting hurt, so he twisted his ankle 3 minutes into that game. So they played the last 37 plus 40, 77 minutes without him. Now he's in a boot. He's getting an MRI as we speak.
Right.
So if they can get that kid back, maybe not for the Sweet 16, but even the Elite 8, if they get by, they're a candidate to win it all. But they got to have him. He's their best player.
Yeah.
And they're deep. Though. They're deep. Their rotation's 9 to 10 players. But he's an All-American. So anytime you lose an All-American.
So who surprised you this past weekend? And I always refer to you as smart money because you do your homework on football and basketball, college football and college basketball in terms of the little bitty things that a lot of people just, they either bet with their heart or their eyes. They were, you're moved by what you just saw when in fact, from a depth standpoint, from a what's the word I'm looking there for? From a particular standpoint, a small thing standpoint, they don't necessarily catch on of what's coming around the corner and how that particular team will match up and stuff. But detail standpoint, I don't know why it took me, I guess because I just turned 72. It took me a long time to get to the word details. But who do you like right now that, you think can be that Cinderella of these 16?
Well, you asked me who surprised me. First of all, I got to start with Iowa. That's a huge surprise. Yeah. So that's a surprise. Texas is a major surprise. They're in a playing game, and now they're in the Sweet 16. So who do I like left in the Sweet 16? I still like Iowa State. Arizona obviously has jumped maybe to the front of the pack. Michigan's they got their mojo back. So you saw them struggle in the Big Ten tournament. They got it back. So they're replacing Florida in that top tier. And then you still got Duke. Those 3 number ones are all capable of winning it because of their depth, their size, and their experience. So it's it's a crapshoot right now. Let's say the 3-1s in Iowa State, but Iowa State, I still think Iowa State could give Duke a battle in that were they in that region or Michigan region?
You know what? I literally don't have it in front of me, and I was literally going to ask you the same thing. I'm not ill prepared. I'm more of not prepared. But I'll be looking that up while you talk. But the reason I'm asking is
no, Iowa State's in the Michigan region. That's why I picked them.
Gotcha.
So I picked them to get to the Final Four by upsetting Michigan in the regional final.
That's right. Because you hate Michigan more than anything in the world.
That's another matter, but
But that's when you kind of like when you made that pick, you kind of made that point.
They were struggling in the Big Ten tournament. Remember?
No, but you had a smart aleck remark at the end of it. Like, oh, too bad. Yeah.
And I'm still not convinced they'll win a title.
Yeah, I just couldn't remember what version of that recording it was.
I'll give them their props. They're very well coached.
Hell yeah! What's that guy's last name, by the way?
Dusty May spelled different, isn't it?
No, M-A-Y.
Oh no, Drake May spelled different.
Yeah, Drake May spelled different, and he didn't win the Super Bowl, but Dusty May. And we'll see where it goes. Does it bother you, Sean Miller is in the Sweet 16? Meaning Ohio State. Well, Ohio State didn't even
give him a sniff
because of what had happened.
Let's face it, throughout Ohio State history, and I could go football and basketball, they're not going to take a chance on a guy that has had a past issue with the NCAA. They could have had several hires along the way in this same manner, and they passed on them.
Yeah. Yes.
I mean, I had a conversation with Bob Knight when they hired Thad Mott in 04, 05, I think.
Yeah, 05, I think. Yeah, but go ahead.
I had a conversation with Bob Knight then. He was basically pleading to put for the job. He wanted the job, and Andy Geiger would not even take his call to talk to him.
Right.
And I remember that. Now, Thad Mott worked out pretty well. But at the same time, because he got fired in Indiana, but he was still an alum who'd won 3 national titles, and I would have taken his call and picked his brain at least. And that never happened. But Ohio State has a history of that. They're not going to touch anybody that has any NCAA stink on them, so to speak. And Sean Miller came with a little baggage.
Hey, I don't mean to jump all over the map here, but that's why I did want to ask you this. And so Jake Diebler's coming back. He's the coach. What do you change? What do you request let's say you're Ross Bjork and you have, you can make requests that pretty much have to be adhered to in some form or fashion. What do you change? What do you ask politely to be changed? Kind of like when you were Ruth's Chris the other night and you got your steak or whatever comes a certain way. What do you ask to be changed?
Well, number one, if I'm Ross Bjork, I would hire a basketball consultant that would maybe go through a lot of film with me over the course of this year, including all their losses, and break it down for me. And number one, when you spend the summer, same thing in football, you spend the summers and you think about that final play drawn up with 4 seconds left, Jake Diebler should be scouring film, looking at what everybody else does. And you got a long checklist of the plays you're running, the sets you're running. That when I get to this situation next time, here's my 5 options that are better than the one I just had. That's why you have film of everybody else. Number 2, I don't know what their NIL situation is money-wise for that roster. You got to find a point guard. And Ohio State needs to decide. They're at a crossroads in basketball. They need to decide if they want to be a contender or be an also-ran or get to the first round and be happy with that. And if they want to be a contender, I see people ripping the fans. Who's that? The kid that used to play
Mark Titus. Yeah.
That wrote a book and blah, blah. And I'm telling you, that's so old. The fan, when the university and athletic department buys in on the basketball program, the fans will buy in. You can't have one without the other. They had a full house for Purdue, I think Michigan too, a couple other games down the stretch. Atmosphere was tremendous. Don't blame the fans for this.
Mm-hmm.
You give them a good product, you're going to have Schottenstein Center full most nights once you get into January. A lot of those December games, they're not going to pay to go see. because of the cost and everything else. You're still in football season then, and the travel's tough in December. But once you get into the Big Ten season, that fan base will support this program. They've done it in the past when
Yes.
John Diebler was there and Aaron Kraft were there. If you remember these teams, they were well supported, a lot of Thad's teams. You've got to give them the product to support. So I don't buy that issue when he was ripping on the fans that they don't support basketball. And they parachute in, his quote was, they parachute in when they make the tournament. So, but they got to settle this NIL issue, how much you're going to invest in this program, and then give him the help he needs in getting talent, whether it's through the portal or other. Right now it's through the portal because they got one McDonald's All-American sign. So you better get a couple kids in the portal, and you better get a point guard. You don't have a point guard, you're going to lose a lot of games.
Yeah.
So, and Jake could grow into this job. He might want to go out and spend money, and they probably don't have an opening, I'm not sure, on a top-notch assistant that's a little bit older than him with more experience. You see a lot of coaches that maybe are younger, 30s and 40s, and they'll have a veteran on that bench. The NBA does this, where they can rely on that guy's brain and experience, and yet he's not a head coach material, but he's a basketball guru that can help you. You got to have a sounding board that is willing to challenge you on certain things. And when I look on that bench, that is a very, very young staff, And so anyway, and there's guys out there that fit this bill, but you look at Bob Knight, some of the older assistants he had, that would help him, and they're in charge of certain things.
Yes.
You're setting my defense. You got my offensive sets. And just they have free throw coaches. There's just different roles everybody can play, but they got to decide whether to invest in this program one way or the other, and not just be 20-12 and get beat in the first round. This university deserves a top-notch football program, a top-notch basketball program, and it's they won one title in their whole history.
Just like you just said though, it bothers me. Not bothers me. When I watch basketball, I wouldn't say I'm a fan of the classic basketball, but boy, it is everybody we're talking about that's in the Sweet 16 has a robust big man in some form or fashion. Maybe not 7'2", but even TCU had guys down there, that punch guy who was aptly named, by the way he plays, how tough he was, and the other guy that made the winning shot. They did a great job of, they were manned up there, and they did a great job of getting Tilly, who was covering punch, away from the lane, and so it was one-on-one between that guy and Amari Bynum, and he makes the play. Amari Bynum's not a big guy. He's a tall guy, but he's not the big guy. You know what I'm talking about? I mean, man, that would be – I know it's on everybody's list. That's on everybody's list. Yeah, but Amari Bynum's I want that guy touching the ball. I want that guy getting 35 quality touches of the ball and either driving to the hoop or doing his thing.
No, he's a 3-player, 4-player.
Yes. But let me finish. I mean, it's been so long. I think it's been since you can correct me, but I think it's been since Conley and what's the big guy? Odin. Since they've had that guy where I went, holy smokes, they got a dude in the middle. You know what I mean?
Well, the younger Sellinger was pretty good now when they had him at center. Because of this width. They were really good. That if you remember when he was a freshman, they were really good.
Very true.
Those are only two great big men they've had I can remember in the last 30 years. And
I meant to include him. I'm sorry. Yeah.
Yeah, there wasn't any coincidence they went to the finals that year because he and Conley were a heck of a teammates. And they, you get a dominant big man, obviously, but they all go to Duke, Kentucky,
right,
North Carolina. Michigan's got one now and transfer, but it's just
right. He was at UCLA. I mentioned UCLA with Mara on that squad last night. You know what I mean?
It's no different than football, Tim. They're going to go to the Blue Bloods.
Yeah. Yeah.
The
but UCLA
five-star guys, All-Americans are going to go to the Blue Bloods. UCLA couldn't keep him. Yeah. And this is not the UCLA of old. Don't
right. Oh, I know.
Otherwise, Mick Cronin wouldn't be there. He was about their fifth choice.
But they do have, but it is a blue blood program based on its the royalty it used to swear by. But go ahead.
No, it was.
So how do you? So is it purely pocketbook? Because you can't do anything about the last many years and their troubles and travails. So is it pocketbook now to get that
Well,
guy?
yeah, pretty much. It's pocketbook / tradition.
Yeah.
So when you see the Dukes getting them, the Kentucky's getting them, not so much North Carolina this year, and Michigan does have a pretty good basketball program. They have the history, and the Arizona, same thing. They're going to go to these schools that are known that they have a chance to win a championship. Kansas, for instance. I mean, that's just the way it is. Same way in football. And Ohio State just doesn't have that basketball tradition we wish they had. They've had some good teams. They've been to the Final Four a bunch. They've won one title in all these years of basketball. And they've sort of caught lightning in a bottle when they have gone to the Final Four. The Scooney Penn, Michael Redd year, if you remember, when they went to St. Pete. But those Aaron Craft teams are really good. Diebler teams are good.
Oh, yeah.
They just never had that skyscraper guy.
Right.
I think of my youth when they had Luke Whitty, and he was 7'2", and he wasn't the same after the Minnesota fight.
Right.
But they just have, it's almost like the same thing. They haven't produced an NFL quarterback, and it's except for CJ now. But they never could consistently get a big guy of Ohio. And it's not the same as the old days when you get all the best players in Ohio anyway. But Ohio's not a blue blood basketball state like Texas is in football, or Ohio is in football, or Florida is in football. You got to go where the players are, and they're everywhere now in basketball. I mean, they could come from California, but it's just unless they just, like I said, they want to settle on being in the middle of the pack Big Ten, which is where they are right now. Let's face it.
I don't think that. No, I see that. See, that's the one thing I don't buy. I know actions speak louder than words. They don't want to settle. That is for sure. I know that for a fact. Like I told you several weeks ago, I didn't think Jake Diebler was going anywhere this year, barring a total collapse at the end. And it was the opposite of that. They got beat by 1 point, in the NCAA tournament by a team that came out throwing punches at the beginning and then hung on at the end and beat them by 1 point. And but my point is, Ross Bjork has stated unequivocally he wants a team, he wants a basketball program that's not just getting to the NCAA, but going rounds, whether it's 1, 2, 3, but going round. So the impetus is there. There has been a reinvigoration in terms of providing them with more resources. They have good resources, but more resources to be in that upper echelon, that upper tier, like we're talking about, of teams. But you can't do anything about this past year. I'm thinking if all these fans put their money where their mouth is about what they want, they need to, in some form or fashion, from an NIL standpoint, et cetera, pony up, and so it finally does come down to the fans in one form or fashion, whether they be, big time business owners or just your average pass the plate kind of people. You need that. And Kansas doesn't lack for that. Neither does, North Carolina. The reason Hubert Davis was on the chopping block is because there was a sense that those people have abandoned it to a certain extent, right? And it takes a hard time to get to reestablish that. So I don't know. I just think Ohio State is closer than most people think. If I'm a big guy, though, let me ask you this: if I'm a big guy and I have an agent looking out for me in the portal, and I see Ohio State, if they can solidify that Bynum's coming back, Mobley's coming back, and Devin Royal are coming back, that's a pretty good core just to begin with. Unlike some people, I thought Tayson Chapman really came on. Is that his name? I thought he came on the last several weeks. Not sure what happened to him. Maybe in the last game and maybe the Big Ten tournament game. But I thought he had come on. I think he's a decent player, good player. I call him the Artis Gilmore lookalike guy, the guy with the big hair. But I would see a core there that, man, you can go places with if you're a big guy. So does that make them more attractive, do you think, in this free agent market?
No, I don't think so. I mean, if you're a big guy and they're bidding against Duke, Arizona, Kentucky, name some other blue bloods here, with
North Carolina,
North Carolina, more traditional history, and Ohio State's not going to be able to match those people.
Is Florida? Is Florida a blue blood?
No, I mean, they're a more recent blue blood. They never won anything till 06 in basketball, and they went back to back, and then they won last year. So they've won 3 in the last 20 years. I'll tell you what, though, that O'Connell Center up there shakes when they're playing a big team, and well, that is a good atmosphere, and they've modernized it. Florida has never lacked resources in the last 30 years of upgrading everything they need to upgrade football and basketball, and it's a destination campus in the South, which helps.
Yeah.
Beautiful campus, but boy, their facilities are second to none. And if you've ever been to the Swamp, you know what I'm talking about. When they're good, they just can't get the football program right. I think they hired the right guy there, than John Summerall from Tulane. But their basketball program, this guy's a good coach. He's got it clicking, and he's got to be kicking himself when he watches that film this morning of yesterday's game, because they get by there. They're still one of the favorites to win it all and go back to back. It's hard to go back to back. They just didn't even look like the same team than they did down the stretch. This is the team that was beating Kentucky by 25 points. I think they beat them 3 times this year. And they're very talented, very big, very well coached. But no, I don't see Ohio State competing with top-tier talent with these blue bloods. I don't. And first of all, the first question the big guy's agent's going to ask is, who's your point guard? And there's a reason for that. Who gets you the ball? You can't be struggling with 3-star point guards or walk-on point guard. You better get a point guard to run the show.
Gotcha.
I kept saying Bruce was not the prototypical point guard. I think he was out of position. I'd have had him in a 2-guard, and the Cups kid should have had more minutes. Every time he came in, he provided a little spark. Did you notice?
At the end, he had some problems earlier.
Didn't get him enough minutes earlier in the season. You got to develop those minutes in December, so you develop depth and know who you can rely on, who you can bring in. I think Jake relied too much on a starting 5. You got to develop. That's what those bad scheduling games in December are for. When you're up by 20, 25 points, get those kids in there so you can play. And that kid, he provided him a little spark.
I think he was banged up, though, a little bit in the beginning of the year, beginning of the actual calendar year. Yeah.
But I like the way Bruce played as a 2-guard. When he was off the ball, it was just easier to free him up to get his shot.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, absolutely. I mean, I follow your drift. I mean, I know how a basketball team, should look. Even modern day, it should look like. That's why I just said, man, one big guy, though, just makes a hell of a difference. Purdue with those big uglies, they keep producing, those
are 2 most important positions in college basketball. It's the point guard and the number 5, which is the center. You get 2 studs there, just like Odin and Conley in 06. They can carry the rest of the team. Can you imagine
Lawrence North when they walked out their senior year, when they walked out on the court?
They can break people down off the dribble and blow past their first guy and then set everybody else up. And, Ohio State hadn't had that. That was not Bruce's forte. I mean, he could score when he wanted to score, but, he wasn't the prototype. He was just so strong. That's what made him good. He was strong, and he was had a great basketball IQ. Going to miss him, but no, they need a true point guard. Look at Michigan State. This kid is not a good jump shooter by any means, but he's a great point guard.
Yeah,
and watch him blow by people, and he's either going to take it to the hole, and when they come off another guy, he's going to dish for an easy basket. But the only thing he lacks is a 15, 18-foot jumper, and yet he's a great point guard. But you got to have a guy like that can beat people off the dribble, and Ohio State hadn't had one for a while.
All right. We're near the end here. One last thing from you. Like I said, I like to go, for anybody who likes to get some advice on whatever platform they're using to wager, etc. Give me 2 answers. Don't name every team. I only want one answer to this question, and then the B part of the question. Okay. Right now, you like who to win it all? Just one team.
Arizona.
Okay, you basically inferred that earlier. Number 2, if it is, pardon my language, if it ain't Arizona, you like, from a dark horse standpoint, who do you think? Yeah, meaning somebody who has made the Sweet 16 that's unexpected, like a Texas. Texas is playing pretty well. For example,
they got one more game left. Purdue should get rid of them.
Well, okay.
Dark-
If Purdue
Dark
plays like it's been, wait a minute. Let me finish. I want you to name one team that wow, I may just put a chip on this little block because I think this team, boy, it has the makings. If they can just get a little break here and there, who is that team?
To win it all, get to the Final Four.
To win it all. Win it all.
Don't forget about Houston. I mean, don't forget about them. They were going to be a number 1 seed through about February 10th. Then they tailed off. Now they've got it back. They're only a 3.5-point favorite against Illinois. So, but at this point, it's a crapshoot. The 2-point spreads I like. You want my 2-point spreads?
Yeah, give me those.
Arizona's given Arkansas only 8.5, and I think they could pull away and win by double digits in that one. I think Calipari's got about the most he's going to get out of that group. I love Arizona in that game. The other one, Alabama's getting 10.5 to 11 with Michigan. I'd take that. I'd take those points and hope they shoot the threes, right around the 38 to 43% range, because they're going to match Michigan's 2s for 3s, and they're trying to get that big guy out of the block there to come out. And so if they can shoot 3s, they can beat Michigan. Gotcha. And it's the same way Iowa beat Florida. That's almost the same matchup.
Hey, one last question, bonus question. Who coming out of the first 2 rounds, plus with Texas, I mean, don't call that a meaningless game that Texas played, in Dayton, because it got them in, man. Give me one player, one name, don't name 3. Give me one name that, boy, I didn't know that much about that dude, or, wow, that dude's playing up to snuff. And by the way, I agree. I think Houston is the most slept-on team, has been the most slept-on team in this tournament up until now. Now everybody's waking up again to, hey, these guys played for it all last year. Why can't they do it again? And Kelvin Sampson, you got to give it up to him a little bit. But I digress. Give me one player that, for example, like that Sturts guy, who just kind of makes a play when you need him to make a play. You follow my drift. Who's that one guy that's caught your eye? Is it the Michigan State point guard?
This is a chalk answer, but when Cameron Boozer is capable of carrying his team to a title.
Yes.
So he is such a great player, and he's got the high basketball IQ. So when they're going to double him, then Duke's going to play 4-on-3. So he is the one guy that could still carry. He single-handedly could carry a team to a title.
Yeah.
And he's got his brother there. They're a great story of why they were born. I don't know if you ever followed that or not. The mother wanted to have, the oldest child had a genetic problem, and then they needed a donor. And the only reason she had these kids or wanted more kids was so they could, donate to the older. And I forget the organ. I mean, it's terrible to say that, but it's a great story if you read about the Boozer brothers. But Cameron Boozer, he is the real deal. He'll be an NBA star. That's how good he is. But he could carry Duke to a title. I think it was a blood donation, if I remember right.
I think you're right. I'm gonna look that up next time we talk. I know what you're talking about, but I'll recall it on my drive home. Hey, isn't it amazing though? Because I watched Danny Manning do that with a team, man, way back when.
Kansas took him to a title, right?
And the coach's name was
Larry Brown.
Yeah. Rick Pitino. I'm looking at Rick Pitino right now, man. You can, I know there are a lot of things to criticize about Rick Pitino, but that guy can coach. And
he's a great bench coach. He really is.
Yeah.
I mean,
absolutely.
he knows what he's doing on that bench. Hey, how about that matchup? Talking about coaching matchup, Izzo against Danny Hurley, huh? Danny Hurley and Tom Izzo. So that's a Hall of Fame matchup.
And Danny Hurley is not shy about telling you he is that.
No,
Izzo is that guy he's always looked up to, et cetera, from a lot of ways. And they get their teams to play that tough, down in the nitty gritty. Man, that's when a coach is getting his job done.
Tom Izzo does not get enough credit for what he does.
No.
And I watch his teams a lot of times December and January. And he's doing certain things, making certain moves, playing certain kids a different way, all preparing for March.
Yep.
He might even play a closer game than he needs to because he's trying to develop something for March that he knows is going to carry him. So you never pay attention to the losses they have in January and February because come March, he's going to have them. He preps them just for this the Big Ten tournament, this tournament, to play the way he wants them to play.
Yep.
And you watch their help defense, you watch their rebounding. They're always well coached. It's just fun to watch his team play.
Just like the Robert Duvall character in Days of Thunder, he's, you got the race cars out there, but he's working on that special car for Daytona. You know what I mean? It's the same. It's the same.
They said the cold trickle was made after a guy from my hometown in Ashland, Ohio, by the name of Tim Richmond. That was the character.
I thought he was, but I was wondering if the character was named after Dick Trickle, who I covered at Columbus Motor Speedway long ago.
I covered him too.
Yeah, pretty funny.
All-time name.
But it is funny how the coaches that do the grinding in December and January and February see the fruits of that labor in March, man, when March Madness kicks in. It's been cool. And, Sean Miller is a hell of a coach. He had his problems. He had his problems before, but he's a hell of a coach, brother.
He's
right?
a great coach. Just put his little toe across the NCAA line a few times, but he can coach.
Yeah, absolutely.
All these great coaches will get recycled. I mean, if you can coach and you've got a history, those NCAA problems in a lot of teams, a lot of schools, they'll forget about them if you can get your team to the Final Four.
Yep. As the old saying goes, they're looking for the edge everywhere they look. Hey, Jeff Snook, thank you very much for coming back on here with me, and I hope you enjoyed your cruise. We enjoyed talking to you in Belize. By the way, you have the pronunciation absolutely correct.
Which one?
Belize. My brother.
You had it right or I did?
My baby you did. My baby brother sent me, after listening to the podcast, a nice text message, which basically said, "Tim, you're wrong." But he didn't say, because he was polite to me, because he was also. But anyway, appreciate you coming on, man. We'll talk again next week, okay?
Hey, happy birthday, buddy boy. Wish you the best.
Same to you, man. Your birthday on the same weekend.
Have a great 72nd. Hope you have a good time tonight.
Yeah, I will, brother. Thank you very much. And ladies and gentlemen, until next time, we'll see you then. By the way, Clay has left the room. I wanted to let you folks in on a real bargain out there in the world of simulator golf. The Back Nine Golf, which is located at 2820 Fishinger Road in Upper Arlington, has a hell of a holiday box available to you right now. The value is nearly $300, but your price is $150 if you jump online. That's almost 50% off if you jump online at Columbus at theback9golf.com. That's their email address. Their website is theback9golf.com/Columbus-upper-Arlington-OH/ That's a long address, but just write it down a couple times watching it. And you can also call them at 614-362-7888, parentheses, PUTT, PUTT. But the bottom line is one of the new ultra modern simulators that you can find in the greater Columbus area. And it's really right there in the middle of Upper Arlington. I know Tito Thidoff and I hopped in there the other day. I think it was 16 degrees outside. There was snow and ice everywhere, and we played Pebble Beach. And we did it in less than an hour. So it's one of the great bargains going out there. And with this holiday box, you get 1 month of Birdie membership. You get Back Nine branded golf balls. You get cozy Back Nine beanie, and you get premium Back Nine towel. So that's a hell of a deal, because basically it's unlimited golf. It's 24/7. You get a code to get you in the door, and then you can go from there. And it's definitely fun. It's the premises are pristine. I know we had a great time. We even played closest to the hole, a few shots on number 7, famed number 7 short par 3 at Pebble Beach the other day, and had a great time doing it. So if you're looking for that last minute gift for a golfer that you love, or yourself that you love, that you're a golfer, nothing wrong with giving yourself a gift at this time of the year. That's the Back Nine Golf holiday box, and it's only a limited time. And as you can imagine, there are only a few available. Quantities are
are tight. So check in at thebeck9golf.com.